Me and Jack are watching trailers from like the 60s, and now we like want to watch these movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say this movie looks awesome, whatever it is. But also, it's super cool seeing the projection.
Yeah.
Like how they use the was it rear projection or whatever?
Just about ready, Jennifer. You might be ready, Julius. But if I were you, I'd think about it.
Please do not reveal the middle of this picture.
Oh, it's
Oh
one of
my
those
gosh.
trailers where I can only hear it on one side.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
I'm like,
We
bro,
don't care if you blab about the beginning of this
what
picture,
the heck?
nor do we care if you give away the ending. But we do care if you reveal the middle. In fact, Jerry Lewis urges you to see this picture from the beginning on penalty of losing your popcorn privileges.
Oh my gosh, that's a
One thing we will
That's a
tell you
huge
is
threat.
that Jerry
Don't
plays
you
the
dare.
part of an eccentric chemistry professor who
I don't know
invents the
why I
greatest
keep having to
new drink since
redo
Dracula discovered the Bloody
parts of
Mary.
OBS every time. Every time.
One sip and he turns into... Ah, that would be telling. And even those who know... are telling.
That's kind of sick that they did that.
What's this called?
What was the name of that last movie?
It's a mad
Professor?
world.
Professor!
Mm.
Professor! Keep the mind
Is that
on
supposed
the
to be a
chemistry.
student? She looks like 28. And I don't mean that in a mean way. It's like that looks like an alumni, not a student.
I need
Well,
to
I
know
mean-
what this is called.
I hope that she's an alumni.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very ethical.
What
Yeah,
the?
or alumnus, whatever way they say it.
Oh, this is the original Nutty Professor?
Wow.
The nutty.
Damn. Not the Eddie Murphy.
Not that.
Not at all.
Not that masterpiece.
Please do not reveal the middle of this.
It's funny to see how
I like this already.
It's got it all. It's got it all.
I like this already. What is this? Cary Grant, strong start.
Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, is this, I may have seen this. Yes, I have seen this. I need to see it again. It's been a really long time. It's like a classic.
Do we know each other?
Why do you think
Wait, I was just about to write down name and then I missed it. The charade?
Charade.
Is that
Charade, yeah.
People until one of them dies, I couldn't possibly meet anyone else.
Well, if anyone goes on the critical list, let me know.
As you can see, she was in serious trouble.
Uh-oh.
But she still found time to enjoy herself.
Mrs. Lampert.
Yeah, it doesn't quite seem like enjoyment to me.
From then on, her life was one round of enjoyment. Entertainment. Enchantment?
What are you doing in here?
I'm having a nervous breakdown.
Ugh.
But her life wasn't
Sweet
always
Audrey.
that gay. There were times when she was
This
in
is a very
dire
interesting
jeopardy.
trailer.
Hasn't it occurred
'Cause I
to you
feel
that
like
I'm
I have
having a
no
tough
idea
time
what's
keeping
going
my
on.
hands off you? Oh, you should see your
There are
face.
still trailers that do that today.
It's
Where
like
it's like,
It's lovely.
what's happening?
it's almost like a series of unfortunate events. Like just as far as like this just seems like what they showed is just like her encountering like weird guy after weird guy, like just strange
Weirdo
advances.
after weirdo.
Yeah. So
Yeah, how old was he compared to her?
Reggie?
1904.
Waterproof?
Oh my god, yeah, I knew it. She's like way younger.
Hepburn?
Now that he's
Younger
dead,
than
you're
Grant?
our only lead.
She's 25 years younger than him.
Whoa,
dang.
crazy.
Yeah, that's, yeah. Because he was born in 04. She was born in 29. or 20.
I remember
No,
the
yeah.
finale of this movie because I actually genuinely remember it was very smart. The finale of this movie is really, like, I haven't really seen, the method that the hero uses to, like, pursue / try to take the villain down was, like, who even thought of that? It was crazy creative. All right, do we want to get to our trailers? These are actually fun. I would love to watch, like, more old trailers, but we do have our own as well.
Yeah, I think maybe for the sake of, because Richard, you said how long can you probably be on here for?
Not forever.
Yeah, okay.
I gotta. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get off.
Okay. Well,
But,
we should maybe do ours.
One of yours, okay.
All right. Who should we? Hold on. Let me.
Should we start with prayer? Dear God, I'm just kidding.
Let me.
Yo.
Let this be a great time in Jesus' name, amen. Boom.
I'm getting something.
Do you want us to drop the trailers in the chat or something, or?
No. I think it would actually be fun to not know what they are until they start playing, which means that we have to, like, shut our eyes for a portion of time. But I'm rolling a die to see who goes first. So, Joseph 1-2, Richard 3-4.
Well, I'm asking because it's like, are we going to be casting our own screens, or are you going to be doing it?
On the you can either just put the link or search for it in the YouTube activity. I can make someone a host, whoever it is.
Okay. Okay, I see.
All right, I got a die. I'm gonna roll. Jack 1-2, Rich 3-4, me 5-6. See who goes first. It's a 2. Joseph.
It's me. Okay.
It's you. You're the YouTube host. I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna look until it's like.
Wait. Since you rolled, can I have the option of giving it to someone? Because I want to see. I don't know why, but I want to see Richard's trailers. Unless he's not prepared yet, but I want to see Richard's for some reason.
Yeah, that's fine. They're not very interesting. They're mostly actually recent stuff, but I'll go.
That's fine. All right. Joseph, make Rich the YouTube host.
Okay. I go here, and then I click. Boom.
So how
God, I
much
love
time
these
do we
cakes.
each get to talk about it?
I'd say like anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. I feel like. And that's like, is that like conversation basis or like
No, like individual.
the person
Like
individual?
when we're like, what do you think? And then we all just go off the rails.
Yeah, mine could vary genuinely from like 2 minutes literally to like 5.
Let's
But,
try 3.
Really? Okay.
I just have
Do we
my
want-
phone off to the side with the timer permanently set.
Okay. So you got the timer. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Might not be
this.
working, or?
I'm not looking at whatever it is. I see the ad.
I was like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, definitely not that.
Thank you. I'm sorry I know your name. I'm Felix. Oliver. Oliver, I love you.
I have a screening for this next week.
I love you. All right, cheers, Ollie.
My parents. they've
Tell
got
me how it
problems.
is.
What kind of? What do you mean problems?
I don't think I'll ever go home again.
Well, why don't you come home with me? Come to Saltburn.
Mr. Quick.
Wow.
And here he is now.
Oh, beautiful eyes. Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, I told you it wasn't a minger.
Oh, but darling, you're kind about everyone. You can't be trusted.
I had them hang up an old school dinner jacket. We dressed for dinner here.
Dressed for dinner.
Yeah, it was like black tie.
I think I like you even more than last year's one.
You're so,
So what?
real.
Can't have been easy for Venetia. With you being a mother.
Why?
Now it's time to take things up a notch. Shawty had them apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur.
That was great.
Wow.
This place.
Oh, that looks like sex.
You know, it's not
How do you know what that looks like?
Maybe it was a something. Something.
Get lost in Saltburn.
Oh dang.
Oh, that's just giving me goosebumps. Look, Pamela.
Oh no.
Oh, Carrie Mulligan. Oh dang.
I think you're a moth. Quiet, harmless, drawn to shiny things.
What have you done? I just thought that maybe I could help.
You're not leaving us. You're not leaving Saltburn.
I don't think I'll ever go home again.
Nice.
I'm gonna set it to 2.5 minutes because if I don't, I could actually already get lost in talking about what I just saw. So, so
Oh, did not mean to do that. I was gonna pause it. I didn't know whether or not another ad was gonna play or something.
all right. Do I roll the die on who talks first? I kind of like rolling the die.
Yeah, sure.
All
Yeah,
right.
man.
Jack 1 2, Rich 3 4, me 5 6. It's a 1. Jack, go for it.
2 times in a row.
And no, you
Two
can't.
times in
You
a
can't
row.
throw the ball.
Okay, so I saw the first. I thought I saw the first trailer, but maybe I
I've
saw.
never seen this, but sorry, go on.
I think I saw the teaser trailer, but I was already captivated from the poster, the cast. I love Jacob Elordi or something. I forget his last name, but he's in the show Euphoria, and I love the main actor. I forget his name, but he is fantastic. And it's very much his like shtick. He loves to play weird roles, like characters on the surface that portray this way, but really they're this way. And I feel like it's going to be one of those movies where, I think somebody said like you're a mask or something. They might pull another plot twist. Just kidding. It's the other guy who is crazier than him. It seems like a movie that's very up my alley, where visually it looks impressive. It looks like the cast is going to have a great time, where they're literally just going crazy in a big fat mansion in England, it looks like. It's totally up my alley with everything that they're giving off in the trailer. The music was bumping, but it's also providing like just this weird sexually provocative, rambunctious ride is like the best way to put it, with some thrills here and there, and you don't really know on the full surface what Saltburn even is. Yeah, I like the trailer a lot. It's not like my favorite trailer, but it's definitely a trailer that does its job to grab somebody's attention and go, I think I want to go check that out. Yeah, those are my thoughts on it. I think it's a very well done trailer.
Okay.
And you got, also, quick side note, you got Carrie Mulligan. She had like a 2-second cameo in the trailer. She's amazing. So I'll watch anything with her in it.
All right, Rich, rolling the die. You're 1 2 3. I'll be 4 5 6.
Okay.
It's a 2.
Yeah, so the first time I saw this trailer, I don't even remember what was going on. Like usually I just skip everything. But like from the very beginning, I was like, what is this? Like it kind of just captivated me. And I watched the whole thing, and I was, it was just, there are a lot of things about it that I enjoy. Like obviously it's shot really, really, really well. It's 4:3, which I thought was like a very interesting choice. And yeah, so like I was like, okay, like there's some really interesting stuff going on here. Like even as far as the colors, I thought it was like really, really beautiful. how they did some of the things that they did. One shot that was a real standout to me, which to most people is a super like innocuous shot, but it was a shot when they were in that what looked like a bedroom with a lamp, and so it's just like more so the silhouette of a person. I can't remember if it was like a woman or not, and yeah, it just a really simple shot, but it's a beautiful shot to me. And then especially knowing like from the other end, like how difficult it can be working with exposure and like still getting color, while still getting like that, the deep blacks. And so I was like that's masterful. It looks completely zany, topsy-turvy, real like psychological thing. It just reminded me of like cult stuff, like just getting inundated with a thing is something that starts off like sweet and a little weird and quirky, and then you get really interested in it, and then it becomes a thing that you can't escape. Even as you witness horrors and partake in the horrors and things of that nature, it could very much be like what Joseph was saying, where there's a twist and he actually is the monster, he is the demon. That's why they brought him in, because he's actually the worst of them all, and it's something they can see in him. I don't know. It's just it's interesting, and I'm like fascinated by that. And there's some choices that would usually be considered quirky or weird.
It's time. Your opinions are void now.
All right, next.
This is great.
I'm sorry. You want to finish yours? Should that be a thing? Does it stop immediately, or is it like finish that thought?
I like it. No, that's fine. Yeah, we can go on next.
That's why I was trying to rush mine. I was like, blah, 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 done.
Rich, you took the words right out of my mouth with the 4x3. I was really hoping to get the spotlight there, but you took it from me, and I appreciate it. It's interesting to me when movies do 4x3 but don't strive to make anything else look antiquated. Like, everything else about this looks completely modern. I do really like a lot of if I can like even pull the sweaty sex. If I can pull like, there's a real focus on, and I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but like the I'm not finding a very good shot for it. Like the emphasis on the architecture of this house, to an extent, it almost feels like this house is one of the stars of the movie. Is this the shot you were talking about with the lamp?
Hold on. I don't see what you're seeing. I think I gotta
gotcha.
Hand you the.
It's at 114. But
114.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Before you came on, Rich, Jack was saying one of the big things that hooks him into a trailer is the song choice, and I'm actually kind of similar with that. For some reason, because I almost feel like the song should try to represent the overall tone and aesthetic of your piece, of your movie, and this song was like a I don't know if this is the right term, but kind of like a thudding slow burn, and this also comes off to me as a bit of like, I don't know if I would say gothic horror or occultic horror, but it is the kind of genre that suits a slow burn, kind of like I think the movie was called The Invitation. That's like a slow burn cultic horror movie.
Oh, yeah. That's fantastic.
Really slow burn, but once it goes crazy, it goes crazy. And that's kind of what I'm picking up off of this, is like, it's going to take a while to go nuts, but once it does go nuts, it's going to be like, what the hell's happening? And it's definitely enough to like intrigue me into wanting to see it. I haven't seen a lot with Barry Keoghan in it, but he seems like he's quite the promising up and coming type of star. I think he's going to put out a lot of good work, and I'm really curious to see what he does in what looks like kind of a zany movie like this. I like this. I've never heard of this movie, not even once. I didn't know anything about it, but it sounds interesting. It's starting to get some reviews from film festivals already. It's at 62 on Metacritic. It sounds interesting. I'd like to see it. It's time for me. Sif 123, me 456. Just so we can kind of keep it alternating. It's a 1. I've not gotten a single roll for anything yet.
Oh.
Thomas?
Not looking.
You seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
All right.
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Really? Okay.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
Man, I've yet to see this movie.
It's mixed as heck, I will say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I know a lot of people did not like it, but I still wanna.
It has a beginning, a middle, and end, and credits. It has all of that.
It has everything.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small. And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall.
Time to fly.
If you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to follow me.
Again.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me, no?
Okay, sir.
It's just epic as. I love this. I'm a curse song. It's so sick. I'm gonna start singing. Remember what the Thomas said. This movie was, but I God love this trailer.
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
He just starts singing Hamilton all of a sudden.
Bro, just hearing that sound again, bro. Like that theme.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Take me back.
Bro,
Yeah,
I didn't
man.
know I need to hear that right now. Like that, just that theme, bro. Oh my god, just something about that. All right, anyway, sorry. Cutting
All
out
right.
the time. All right.
The die says.
Die says.
Holy it's Joseph. All right, ready, set, go.
Perfect. So, where do I start? The music, of course. This, I never heard that song in my entire life. And I remember being in the theaters, 2 years ago, and I was like, oh shoot, that's right, The Matrix 4 is coming out. I hope it's good. And then I'm like, you know what, whatever. Just take away all my preconceived notions. Let the trailer wash over me. And my God, this trailer rocked my socks off. It had everything. Visually, it reminded me everything that I really loved about the Matrix series. It gave me hope for hopefully a great sequel, which it halfway delivered in the first half, because the first hour of this film is actually really great. And then when it becomes a Matrix movie is when it starts to suck. And I know that sounds confusing, but it will make sense later on. Because I just need to focus on the trailer. But the trailer delivers on everything I feel like you would want out of, oh my god, they're making another Matrix. What else are they going to do? It has a plot with the main character that I think is very just interesting, because it's essentially him being a video game developer, and he's like being tricked that he's the one that created the Matrix trilogy, but as a video game. And that just sounds amazing. And how they visually bring him back with the other characters, a new version of Lawrence Fishburne's character, but now being played by Yahya Abdul. It just reminded me of everything that I loved when I was like 12 years old when I saw that film. The very first one and the second one, not really the third one. And the song just does what it needs to do. It makes you feel like you're a part of the experience, and it gets your blood pumping, especially with that last 20-second editing spree with action and Keanu Reeves just being Keanu Reeves with one of the most badass women next to him in a film. I wanted that, and I got half of it, but as a trailer, 10 out of 10 trailer for me. I will always remember that trailer, even if it delivered a 5 out of 10 film. It's still a dope trailer. And yeah, I freaking love that thing. It's just epic. That's the simplest way to put it. It's epic as hell.
All right, my turn. I always have a little bit of a hard time with trailers like this because essentially, as far as I was concerned, the franchise was done. And so it was like, oh, it's a defibrillator trailer. Like, oh, there's a little bit of life left in it. So that being said, the music is a really good choice. It sounds great. I almost wonder if this is like they hired the composer to like kind of remix or redux the song, or if it really does sound this dramatic in the first place. I wonder if it's kind of more mellow.
It's more mellow. The original one, they definitely got some company.
Okay, so they accompanied over it to be like, here's this version. Yeah, a lot of studios seem to do that a lot. Not that I have a problem with it. I just find it interesting to take an older piece of, not old as in like ancient, but like an already created piece of music and put stuff over it instead of composing a completely new one, because they're like, hey, this fits our movie. Yeah, I saw the movie. I'm sad I have to say this because putting out any movie is hard work, but I was honestly kind of bored.
It becomes really like, yeah, I agree.
Like the whole time though, not, even the first hour, I was like, oh bro,
I'm sorry. I love the first hour.
It was pain, but I got 55 seconds left. The trailer is really good. It's really hard for me to judge it on its own merits because, like I said, I see it as a defibrillator trailer, just juicing a bit of life out of a franchise that everybody thought was like concluded and donezo, because it had a pretty conclusive ending from what I remember. It's totally a style piece. This is not a substance piece, I don't think. This is totally a style piece. And I'm not going to say that there's like necessarily anything wrong with that, but this trailer is like an edit fest, which is one of my trailers absolutely is too. But that being said, the trailer is fun. You're like, it sets a tone for a movie that you want to see. My time's up.
To see, period, ...
I'll say I really enjoyed the trailer. I didn't see the movie that the trailer was for, but I did see its predecessors. But to stick to the trailer, I agree. I think that the music was a good choice. I feel like even if I put the trailer on mute, I feel like it was a very effective trailer. Like, we actually got a story and got a bit of like the intrigue, of this guy who's sitting down, who's like talking to a therapist, and so like already I know like I'm dealing with some like weird stuff with reality, and on the one hand, like he's in the real world, but then like we see him like obviously interacting with stuff that is like not what we see in the real world, and then we see stuff with robots, people getting unplugged, whatever else. Then we see, it's like kind of like part of that turning point is when he does the little force push or whatever, and then it's like just stuff goes nuts basically after that. And we see a totally different landscape. And so, like you guys said, like it's a trailer that like squarely presents a piece that you want to watch, right? Like what that's selling is what you want to watch. Now whether or not you get that is a whole nother thing, but it sounds like they didn't deliver on that. But yeah, for all intents and purposes, I thought it was a great trailer. I like the opening in particular. I thought it was beautiful. It felt almost like heavenly in a way. Like I feel like they did a really, really good job with setting the tone of that particular scene in that particular office, making it feel warm and cozy, just with the way they lit it. I could tell some of the even some of the post processing that they did as well. Just everything about it felt like a cozy office that you're trying to get someone to open up in. Those are the kinds of little details that I look at, like just stuff like that, like the lamp thing.
Time's up. Someone posted on IMDb, the highest Metacritic review is a 91, and the headline of the review is, because they came out at the same time, if Spider-Man No Way Home is the poison, this is its antidote.
Well, there you go.
That's crazy too.
The boldest and most personal franchise sequel since The Last Jedi. Let that sink in.
Hey man, there's some stuff I like about that movie, some stuff I don't.
Let this sink in. All right.
Dang, that's crazy. 63% for both audience and critics.
It's crazy. All right. Hand me control.
Yep, I knew it. I knew this was gonna be one of your trailers because I was thinking about it, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing. God, I love this movie.
This trailer's incredible.
I was gonna say, a lot of people will hate on this movie. This is one of my favorite movies, honestly.
It's like top 10 best comic book movies ever made. Especially the Ultimate Cut, man. If you haven't seen the Ultimate Cut,
No, I didn't even know there was one.
It literally mixes in like some animation stuff that Zack Snyder made later on and integrates it within the film. Yeah, this is definitely, between this and Justice League, the good one is his best like comic book movies.
I'm sure Alan Moore would disagree, but...
Oh yeah, Alan Moore hates everything. He even hates his own stuff.
He just seems like a generally unhappy person.
He's like, yeah, I never liked that.
It's almost like how he markets himself. Want to see a comic book written by someone perpetually dissatisfied? Read my
God, Smashing Pumpkins, nostalgic as hell.
This cover is quite a stark contrast from the original song.
That was like my crush when I was a kid. Like I was 13 when this came out, and that chick was my god.
Ooh, the one that wore the yellow,
Silk Spectre or whatever her name is.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause she's hot as hell. What are we even saying?
Zack Snyder did a great job. He did a great
There's
job
a
casting.
reason they put her in that damn suit. Yeah.
There's a reason why she was doing the dirty tango with that blue dude with the hugest penis in the entire freaking universe.
Let's not go too far. I mean,
not the hugest.
It seems pretty average to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's because he's modest, right? He can change his body, so.
When he's big mode.
He was trying to be nice,
All right, rolling the die. Richard.
Hey.
Yeah. So obviously I've seen this movie. It's a movie I really enjoy. It's playing again.
Well, I'm just playing it on mute so images can go by as we talk.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sick. Yeah. I as far as the trailer goes, again, like even with the music off, like I'm seeing now, like. Yeah, it's super captivating. Like the colors, like the emotion, the movement, like just everything about it is just like super interesting. You see it's like superheroes and that kind of thing, but obviously it's a gritty world. And by dark, it's like dark. It's a dark movie. It's interesting like seeing it again after all this time and just seeing how dark it really is. Like it's but that's part of like just what I loved about it. It was dark but still like very vibrant at the same time. We got to see that a lot with Dr. Manhattan, obviously, but Yeah, I think it's a really well put together trailer. You get to see a lot of the tension, even though you don't necessarily know exactly what's going on. You just know stuff is effed up. It's effed up top to bottom. Even the good guys look bad. Even like Dr. Manhattan there, he was just standing there. It looked like he was just like tearing stuff up. Like people were like scared and whatever else. Even if the context of that actual scene is different, the context of that scene in this trailer presents a certain situation. Same thing, the signs. And then we see, this guy. Honestly, I love Rorschach. It just is what it is. But yeah, even that, it's like, what the hell is that? If I'm never, if it's my first, it's like, what even is that? That's it? That's just the end? Like, what the hell was that? Right? So, yeah, I think it's a great trailer.
All right. Anything else? You have 40 seconds.
Nope, I yield the rest of my time.
Oh, okay, my turn. All right. Like Jack said, song choice is kind of a big pull in trailers for me. I feel like when people watch trailers and they're like, I want to do that. I want to make movies. What they actually want to do is make trailers. Like, making trailers actually seems like a blast to me. And this is one of the trailers I feel like, man, if I had the chance to work on this, I would have had fun. It is edited to the music, but not entirely. Like, partially, but on only, like, certain shots where it's, like, impactful. Like, one of them is, like, when the comedian gets thrown out the window. That's on the track. Like, that's on one of, like, the thuds of, like, I don't know if you'd call it a bass pedal. Just, I don't know. It's on one of the thuds. Almost as if to, like, emphasize that this moment is important in the story we're telling. And I appreciate that. Like, I actually genuinely feel like the editing is not just on the music to be cool. It's partially to be meaningful to some extent. Like you said, Rich, this is a world that is, like, broken. You can tell. Because this doesn't feel like a world where it's like people are wondering who these heroes are. They know who they are, and the world is still broken, even with them. I didn't know anything about this when I first saw this trailer. I've yet to watch the movie just beginning to end all the way through. I'd like to someday. I don't know if I should watch the Ultimate or the... Oh, Joseph's turn.
You should watch the Ultimate. It might be on my Vudu. I'm not sure. I know I own it in beautiful 4K. Even though, sadly, physical copies are dying right now. I freaking hate the world. But regardless, Watchmen, that's what we're talking about. The trailer specifically. Yeah, this is one of those trailers where it's a 10 out of 10 trailer. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it on a visual sense, because Zack Snyder is like, hate him or love him, you can't deny his visual godlike abilities that he's able to come up with the characters that he has. Whether it's 300, Watchmen, DC, and now he has a new Netflix movie called Rebel Moon, another fantastic trailer with music. But this one just encapsulates everything that you would want from the comic book. Like, it was hitting nostalgia for the fans that grew up with that comic book. Obviously, I was not in that factor because that's an old comic book. But then you have the intrigue of the generation then in 2009 that was like, oh, it's the guy who did 300? Yeah, manly shit. Let's do this, Zack Snyder. And then you got, sexy Silk Spectre, whatever her name is. Then you got that audience pulled in. You got the Jeffrey Dean Morgan. You got Patrick Wilson playing like Night Owl or whatever his name is. Bro, it's Billy Crudup, one of the most underrated actors of all time, honestly, and deserves an Oscar. I'm waiting for that moment to happen for him, but my God, it has everything: visual, actors, actresses, a world that is just so interesting, not just in a visual sense, but you want to understand why, like Richard, you were saying earlier, like, what's really happening? This looks beautiful. It looks tragic. Why is that the case? What is going on with this group? Are they really even heroes, or are they villains? And obviously the movie kind of goes further into that psyche of what it really means to be a hero and a villain. And there's really no dialogue at all. It's just singing. It's just a song that's playing. And that's that to me, that's what a trailer has 2 minutes to get you in. And this trailer does it, and you don't even have dialogue. You just have a banging soundtrack, and you have like this shit happening. And the scene where Patrick Wilson's on his knees, that's one of the most, I think, iconic shots in the film, especially if you know what happens after that moment.
It's over.
Yeah.
Your time is up.
I love that trailer. And I think it's last quick note real quick. I think it's so intentional with the shot where they have after Patrick Wilson, you have my God, what's his name? Mr. Manhattan. He's blowing somebody up. Mm-hmm. They did that intentionally. Yeah. Because obviously these people have to watch the movie and then find certain scenes to put it all together. So I thought that was really artistically, like, especially when you watch and you go back to the trailer, you're like, oh, that was good. You guys were trying to like give us a little hint about what that scene means. So I found that very.
No, sorry.
Sorry. No, you're good. I just thought it was very interesting how they did that.
As a general note, the movie has quite a large gap between IMDb and Metacritic. On Metacritic, the movie scored a 56, which is lukewarm. On IMDb, there are 571,000 reviews, averaging a 7.6. It's a pretty considerable gap.
No, yeah. And Rotten Tomatoes, 65%, 71% audience. Like, essentially what people are saying, it's a complex narrative structure, may make it difficult for it to appeal to viewers not already familiar with the source material, which I get, because sometimes the pacing in that film was a little off at times, I felt like, because it's just a lot to throw at you in 3.5 hours, it feels like.
Also, without getting into it, this movie definitely is among the top in the category of best villain. I don't want to get into it, but the villain in this movie, really good. Really
He's
good.
So
I didn't expect it to be that good. All right, rolling the die. Jack 1 2, Rich 3 4, me 5 6, because we've each done one. Don't back to back me. Don't back to back me.
Back to back.
It landed on something. It was an uneven roll. Come on. It's me.
Good.
All right.
Back to back, baby.
I'll do my oddball one. I'll do the one where you're like, what the hell?
Have you seen what's happening out there? Have you even bothered to look?
This is a banger, man.
Yeah, it is.
If this is the correct trailer, they use.
They need to be reminded of the order.
They used.
It is.
Oh man.
Can you see it, Rich?
Yeah, I can see it.
Bro, I played this trailer literally like every day when the movie.
I did too.
Yes.
This is my oddball pick for sure.
Bro, I respect it because I literally forgot about this trailer. This is like one of my favorites.
One day, somebody's got to say enough.
If I do this, I do it as a man. But you are not just a man.
Dang, Mads Mikkelsen. I forgot. I'm about to watch this again. Just want to learn the drums now. A movie that's like a 6 out of 10 feels like it's gonna be a 10 out of 10. Damn the gods. Medusa, she was scary as hell in that film. Oh. Release the Kraken. Iconic as hell. Oh, I was like 12 or 13. That thing was sick. Clash of the Titans.
And
and the die landed on me again because it's like it's making up for lost time. So, right. This trailer, when I was in high school, I discovered, and this is gonna be really nerdy, but bear with me. I accidentally discovered I watched like a lot of anime in high school, and I still watch an okay amount now. I found there was a community, and yeah, my timer is going on this, that creates anime music videos. Now that sounds goofy on paper. However, they're not doing it because someone's paying them. They're doing it because they're passionate about it. And it was the first time I really saw a community of people like pick a song for a reason and like edit to the beat and make it impactful and make the music meaningful to what was on screen. And this felt like it was edited by someone who wanted to really amp this up as much as they could, who really wanted to emphasize that it was going to be more fun than it turned out to be. I wouldn't be surprised if the editor of this used to make anime music videos. That's a huge guess. They probably didn't. But it almost felt like someone who was like, I love my job. I love my job so much. A whole group of us went to go see this because we were all like, this trailer is sick. It edits to the music on several different points on a not slow song. This song is much faster than the beginning of the end of the beginning of the, however you call that Smashing Pumpkins song from Watchmen's trailer. Like, this is a much faster edit fest than that trailer was. But I loved it for it. I loved the tone that it set. Oh, my time's up. All right. Next up is Jack.
That honestly, I'm a little jealous because I forgot about that trailer. I literally watched that trailer like right when it came out, and I knew the release date. I watched it till the movie came out, and I was like, so you would find me in the school cafeteria watching it on my phone, on my little iPod, not even phone, iPod Touch, before I was cool enough to have an iPhone. Clash of the Titans, man. This trailer just a little adolescent boy who just wanted nothing but sexy Sam Worthington killing freaking scorpions and weird demon witches and fighting Medusa that was like just so creepy. At least for me, I thought the visuals for this trailer were amazing at the time. And you have the mixture of Greek mythology, which is one of my favorite things like ever, besides Bible. You have Greek mythology, you have Zeus, just that whole idea, that world was always so fascinating to me. And then you mix that in with a punk rock song that has the best editing in a trailer with music. Because I agree with you, this was very, like, somebody was very passionate while making this, I feel like. And the best moment that displays that passion through their work is the scorpion bop 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 bop. That is like just take my money. Like I will watch this tenfold in theaters. Like, and this is just another great example of what a trailer should do. It takes whatever your interest is and bumps it up. Like, it bumps your interest even more. That is the whole point of a trailer, is to grab the audience. And that trailer for me, man, when I was a kid, it grabbed it. I was like, Mom, Dad, give me $12, please. I need to go see it. Or $10, because it was pretty cheaper compared to what it is today. I need to go see that in 3D, in real D 3D, which I can't believe they still do that, because it's hot garbage and it's not worth it. But my God, yes, I want to go see it again. And I still know it's like a 4 or 5 out of 10. I don't care.
Perfect timing, Rich.
Yeah, it felt like another era. You know, it felt like a timepiece in a way. The kinds of shots that they chose, the music that they chose, the way that they even packaged both of those things together, right? It was not like, you would never see a trailer like this today. You just wouldn't. There aren't trailers like this. Granted, I mean, like, even like this type of movie and the way it was done wouldn't necessarily be done this way today. But like, just in general, this trailer itself, like, you know, I don't know. It's just it's reminiscent of bygone time. Much like you said, Tim, is really funny because I was thinking the same thing, right? Those AMVs, they used to be all over YouTube, right?
Yep.
And I remember because I used to watch them all the time. I used to, watch them with the battle between Naruto and Sasuke, and Itachi versus Sasuke, and DBZ, right? Like, all these other kinds of things. I used to watch them all the time, and it does very much feel like that. It feels like someone that, not just had passion, but also had people that just let them cut loose, and just be like, yo, here's a badass song, let me do these like badass cuts, and like stitch together, just like this badass trailer. Like, that's just what it felt like. It had that kind of energy. It had range. It had the sound bites, right? It had the sound bite moments. It showed all the cool action, the big monsters, right? Like the travel. Yeah, it's a solid trailer. It's a fun trailer, and it's interesting seeing it again after all these years.
I will say, used to watch like the AMVs and stuff too. Okay, this is gonna be a weird thing. Here's like, AMV editors are kind of crazy. I mean it in like a good way. Just before I roll the die, you guys know System of a Down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know the song X? Or Multiply?
I don't believe so.
All right, I'm not going to play the whole song. All I'm going to play is like the opening like 10 or 15 seconds, and that's it. All right. You hear how fast that snare is, right?
Yeah.
I saw there was an AMV editor who chose this song and edited to that fast snare.
Oh, yeah.
No movie trailer would do that.
Nope.
No movie trailer would do that. It's way too fast. But this mad lad was just like, I'm in. like
I'm doing it.
I almost feel like they need to like hire those nerdy AMV editors who are capable of doing that for some movie trailers, because they're like, they pick the right song, they pick the right footage, and they like the trailer's job is to get the audience invested. But people who edit those kinds of things, those kinds of tributes, they're doing it because they're genuinely like passionate, like if they worked together with a professional editor, I'd love to see some of the kinds of trailers that would come out of that. All right. 1, 2, 3 Jack, 4, 5, 6 Rich. I dropped it, but I'll let it ride. Rich.
Hey.
Alrighty.
All right.
All right.
Do I have to relinquish? I must relinquish.
Copy. Alrighty. So another.
Also, Clash of the Titans got 39 on Metacritic and 5.8 on IMDb.
Yes.
All right, and there it is, folks.
You got nice colors.
Bruh, I've seen this movie twice.
Say that is.
Damn.
My color.
Good answer.
Osage. They have the worst land possible. But they outsmarted everybody. The land had oil on it. Black gold. Money flows freely here now.
I do love that money, sir.
This wealth should come to us. Their time is over.
I was literally thinking about one of this trailer being mine.
When this money started coming, we should have known it came with something else. They're like buzzards circling our people.
We're still warriors.
I ought to kill these white men who killed my family. I need you here.
I am right here. You've got to take back control of your home.
I was sent down from Washington, D.C. to see about these murders.
See what about them?
See who's doing it.
Expecting a miracle to make all this go away. You know they don't happen anymore.
I don't think I ever saw this trailer. That's
Really?
a sick trailer. All right,
Dude.
rolling
Two for
the
two.
rolling
Two
the
for two.
die, rolling the die. Oh, come on, stop falling off the desk, Jack.
Okay, real quick side note. This video is the reason why I'm getting like 4,000 subscribers in a matter of a couple days. I got 21,000 views on my review for it. It's an amazing film. You guys need to watch it. It's an amazing 3.5 hour experience. This trailer, man, there's an even better one after this. This is my second favorite one for the marketing, but there's an even better one that's a bit more emotional. I'm an emotional guy. But this one is like, I can see why it's better in the sense of like, it's just epic. But it also has this very serious yet authentic tone where you really feel like Martin is really trying to tell this story in the truest way possible, but also in a way that's engaging to any kind of viewer that could walk into this film. Whether you like action, whether you like drama, whether you like just a good old-fashioned Leo film. The music, the editing, it's on beat, alongside visually with some really haunting images that the editors display in this. It's truly a powerful experience, even just watching that 2-minute and 24-second trailer, and all it was telling me was this is a movie that is needed to be seen in the theaters. It's an experience that you won't forget. And I mean, those are my genuine thoughts even before seeing the film. That's one of the trailers I honestly was watching while anticipating to actually watch the full film, because it's just a story that looked captivating. It's a story where I go, how have I not heard about this? This is true. This happened in our country. You want to find out what happened. Why is this character, his name's Ernest, but let's just call him Leo. Why is Leo caught up in this situation with this old man? Who is he to him? Is it his uncle, his father? What's going on? Why is he really falling in love with this person, or is he being a manipulative piece of shit, just like this older guy that you see? So it starts to mess with your mind, like what's really happening? Who's the real villain of this? Is it Leo, or is it this other guy? Or is it really this other person? And then you got Jesse Plemons, the detective, coming through saying the freaking best line in the whole trailer.
My turn.
These murders.
Boom. I really should give like a 10-second flash or something.
Hey, it's our thing right now. It's our thing.
I'm the only one who has a clock in front of me. It makes me look like a dick. All right. I never saw this trailer. I love it. The editing was great. The editor even decided to like sync up gunshots to the beat that probably don't play out the same in the actual movie. This is the kind of trailer that almost makes me wonder, and I don't mean this in a bad way, if they have an idea for the trailer down the line and they're like, all right, we're going to do a take that's the trailer version, and then for the real version of the movie, you guys just like shoot your guns how you really actually would, which is as fast as possible. Sometimes I wonder if movies have like trailer takes. You know what I mean? Like, because you're like, that shot wasn't in the movie, that shot wasn't in the trailer. It makes me wonder if it's kind of on purpose. That being said, incredible trailer. The music for this was spot on. The editing for it was spot on. And yes, I do need to see this movie. I was looking it up to see if it's playing at the theater near me, because we have like $6 Monday and Tuesdays. And it starts tomorrow. I might have to see if I might see it with my mom, which sounds crazy, but she's like watching a ton of movies on her own now. I like Scorsese. Okay, his editing, I don't want to say it's hit or miss because that's not right, but every single time there's a scene with smoking in it, it kills me because someone will blow out a puff of smoke and then the shot will cut and the smoke is like 3/4 gone. And I'm like, get it together. Like I noticed just like small things in some of the editing. That being said, whoever edited this, it probably is his same editor who does honestly incredible work. Honestly, I don't have a ton to say about it because I came into this like pretty cold. Other than it makes me want to see the movie and it makes me not care that it's going to be super long.
As soon as I saw it, because I saw another one too, I knew that it was a movie that I wanted to see. I don't know when I'm going to see it. I don't know when I'm going to have the time to see it. But I know that at some point I will see it. Yeah, the story is absolutely captivating. Even as shown there in the trailer, like you just get a real sense of turmoil, a real sense of conflict, a real sense of tragedy. You know that there is a bad force, and you know that there are bad guys, but you don't quite know exactly where that line ends. And you see people being pushed out and forced into a cage and retaliating, but because of that retaliation, there's escalation. But behind that escalation, it seemed to always be a motive to expand anyway. So it really just feeds a fire is what it seems like there. Which is very just current day things. It just makes that, it's a crazy parallel there. Anyway, very interesting trailer. It runs the gamut, and it made me want to see the film. I feel like most people, when they see it, most grown-up adult people, when they see it, they're going to think it's like interesting and be like, why have I never heard of this? Like you were saying, Jack, like, why have I never heard of this? What is this? Is this even true? We saw stellar acting in it. Just really cool stuff. The music was great too. How they infused two different cultures, and how they showed really the domination of one of those. Even just like in the score itself is great, top to bottom, in my opinion. So
nice. You have 5 seconds. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, Jack, you're up.
Oh, my turn? My trailer? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I am playing it now.
This world is beyond cruelty.
Okay.
You've been fighting the Harkonnens for decades. My family's been fighting them for centuries. And they were massacred. Alongside my father.
Your father didn't believe in revenge.
Father Oscar.
We believe
Daddy
in
Oscar.
friendly.
Let me fight beside you.
Reload!
He said that. I got that. Thanks.
I won't be fighting for him. I'm fighting for my people.
You young pup.
Do you believe in Paul?
There are signs.
The prophet. Why is that a bad thing? Use it.
Because all my visions lead to horror.
Because you lose control.
Because I gain it. Johnny, do you believe in me?
Paul Atreides is still alive.
deal with this prophet.
Show me who you are.
Your father. Was a weak man.
Who comes back from the dead?
I will do what must be done.
God, that shot. Oh. It's like Moses, straight up Prince of Egypt. Oh.
I will love you as long as I breathe.
This prophecy is how they enslave us!
It's not a prophecy. It's a story.
I don't care what you believe. I believe. I am Paul Muad'Dib Atreides, Duke of Arrakis.
He who can destroy a thing has the real control with it.
Jack, you're first. Go figure.
Greg Fraser. Those are the two words I'm going to use first. That man is the cinematographer of this film. He already gets the Oscar for next year. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone else did. My God, visually, it's like compared to the first trailer, it's like on the same level. I literally was going between the first teaser trailer for Dune or this one, but to me, I felt like this was the best one because it brings you a story that even if you know, like, okay, this is a sequel, it's Dune Part 2, but you don't feel as lost as you would compared to, like, let's say a Marvel trailer that has a sequel. Like, I felt very compelled with how they showed the characters. Like, this moment right here, you might be a little lost, but you're like, obviously there's a deep connection. I want to know what's going on between these two characters. This prophecy of this man who knows so much, Muad'Dib. And it has this biblical feel to it, which is why I think Dune is one of the most unique franchises. And within this trailer, you have spectacular, like that shot with the sunset and their silhouettes. It's just fantastic. You want to know, like, this creative choice that's coming up here in a matter of seconds. Why does it go to black and white? You don't really care. You just think it's freaking amazing with what this guy is able to pull off. Denis Villeneuve, fantastic director, and fantastic editing in this trailer with the last 30 to 40 seconds that feels like it builds off to what is going to feel like the building off to the finale of this film, where it's just going to build and go to this epic climactic war that feels larger than anything that you've seen in a Star Wars level on a movie, in a movie. So to me, in one simple word, epic. That's what this trailer is. I can fight someone to the death for that. That shot right there with all the people just summarizes my feelings. I feel overwhelmed, but not in a sense where I don't want to watch it or I'm just, no, this isn't for me. I'm getting too stressed out. No, overwhelmed where I want to feel this film wash over me. I want to be compelled. I want to zone out. I want to forget about my troubles. This is what cinema is for me. I go into a different universe and I lose myself to what I'm seeing visually. That's me.
All right. Rich, hit it. Hit the gritty.
I haven't gotten a chance to see this movie. The trailer is incredible. You get to see straight away, like, who the main characters are going to be. I know that some people would think that that's a given, but sometimes, like, you look at it, you can maybe pick out one, maybe two people, but here I feel like they do a really good job of highlighting, like, oh, okay, that person, these are like the major conflicts. We get to see people be a badass, and it's not just like one person like being a badass, but like you see several people, and you see, to me that's a kind of a big deal, there's like a real focus for a long time, just like showing the one main, guy being a badass, or like when he goes into a new place and like then the other people that are like showing him the way are the cool people. But here we see him as well as like the other character that he's like playing against, like, are both super sick, and obviously there's a love element to it, but then there's like this whole conflict between like cultures and that kind of thing. We see culture expressed in a variety of ways, with like language, with garb, with the way they fight, and all these things are communicated like in this trailer alone. There are plenty of other interesting things too, like here we're seeing the whole thing of like, with the visions and the blue and the weird people with the like blue eyes and all this other kind of stuff. Like, it's spooky, it's weird, it's captivating, it's beautiful, all the scenery is beautiful, the sand looks beautiful, the trees look beautiful, like everything from beginning to end, top to bottom. And so when I saw like the trailers for Dune come out, like, this is like weird, these like weird super white bald people, like, the hell is that? So
excuse me.
Yeah, I know, I'm not
excuse
I'm gonna keep this in the sci-fi world. But yeah, it's incredible, and like, you get to see him being a leader, like, badass. Like, hearing his speech, I'm like, oh, like, this is the man. Like, he looks like some little, rinky-dink, like, soft boy, but like, no, he's hardcore. Like, he knows how to lead and he knows how to fight.
This trailer is really good. I actually wasn't sure if it was part 1 or part 2 as I was watching it, which I think is a good thing, because if it doesn't spoil too much from the first one, which for all I know it very well may, it's good to, because there's like the, hey, look who's back from the dead, so I guess I'm supposed to think Josh Brolin was dead, but whatever. It does encourage me to watch the first one because I haven't seen it, but I kind of haven't seen it on purpose because I think I'd like to probably back-to-back them. This trailer does a really, really, really good job of not just telling me how good this editor is. It tells me how good these actors are. It tells me how good like the location scouter did of a job. It tells me how good the DP is. It's telling me how good everyone else was too. This is a pretty impeccably made trailer. This trailer doesn't feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? It feels meticulous, I guess is a word. Like, it really feels like it was put together very intentionally, and told me exactly what the information I wanted to make me see this movie. Like, I don't know anything about Dune. I never read the book. I don't know the franchise. I know it was like a TV miniseries years ago that tried to adapt the books, and people were so hesitant to even try to tackle the books that when people found out that Denis Villeneuve is the guy who's going to take it on, people were like, oh, the Arrival guy. Hell yeah. And I mean, this trailer makes me want to see it. It does have some, like, of that classic movie dialogue, like, look who's back from the dead. Your father was a weak man. Like, those aren't lines of dialogue. I hear those lines of dialogue in cliche action movies. I do not read those lines in novels. So it does give me that bit of pause of just like, okay, the script clearly had like Hollywood hands on it. Those little things, they do kind of like snap me out a little bit, and my time's up. As a side note, I have no notes on part 2 because it's not out yet. That being said, part 1 is an 8.0 with 722,000 IMDb reviews and a 74 on Metacritic. So closer together for sure.
I'm curious, what does Letterboxd say? I finally made an account, and I've been like updating on my list.
All right, so it's,
I trust.
Let me see.
Letterboxd 3.9. That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
All right, so we've each done 2, I think, right? All right, die roll.
Yep.
Die roll says me. I'll be honest, my original third was gonna be The Dark Knight. It is an incredible trailer, but everybody's watched that trailer so many times, I just don't know if there's anything left to say about it, honestly.
Wash my mind clean of what I just saw. First time. That's what YouTubers do all the time.
Yeah. Right.
Oh my god.
Please, I need help.
What the?
I've had marital problems.
Honey, I think it's time that we start talking about a divorce.
Larry, we're gonna be fine.
Professional, you name it.
Larry, we've received a number of letters denigrating you and urging us not to grant you tenure.
I need help.
We're gonna be fine.
I've tried to be a serious man.
We're gonna be fine.
Tried to do right, be a member of the community.
We're gonna be fine.
Please, just tell him I need help. Please.
We're gonna be fine.
I need help.
We're gonna be fine.
The rabbi is busy.
He didn't look busy.
He's thinking.
Don't you run somebody
Yes. I've never seen that movie too. Coen brothers never do wrong. Sometimes.
All right.
Sometimes
Rolling the
they-
die. The die says... Rich.
There were a lot of things I enjoyed about this trailer. Like, obviously, there's a humor element to it. Like, that opening, like, theme of, like, him just, like, you know, getting his head slammed against the wall. And then, like, the fact that it persists throughout builds this tension. Because it's like, oh, this isn't just, like, a funny bit. Like, this is, like... something like psychologically, like something is going on. Like they start to splice more and more things together, and like this repetition of like, it's like the more they add, the more that like it cycles, you know. So it's like first that thing is cycling, then you get another like little scene or vignette, then those things are cycling, then you get another, right? So it's like the loop keeps expanding and getting larger, and like right when you think it's like going somewhere, culminating to a head, it's like right back into that loop, right back into that spiral, right? And so like from a narrative perspective, like I think it's really wonderful. I think it's brilliant. I think it goes without saying that it is wonderfully shot. It's beautiful. I think it's very interesting that they use that color is like present, and there are, I don't know, it's just it's really interesting. You know, it has like this dated style and aesthetic to it that obviously they have in wardrobe and things like that, and like with colors, but at the same time, like you could tell it's shot like in a modern way, but I think it also goes to the way that it's colored as well. It gives a good example also of like, before I even saw the rabbi, I thought, I was like, this is the most like Jewish, non-Jewish thing I've seen. And then the rabbi comes up and I'm like, oh, okay, there we go. Right? It's like the same thing with like Seinfeld. It's like not expressly Jewish. It's not an expressly Jewish show, but it is at the same time. Like, just look at the things that happen, all the characters, right? So, but yeah, it's beautiful. It makes you want to see it. And there's a lot I think I can learn from it. So, yeah.
Right. The die says... Oh, no, I dropped it. And it landed in my paper shredder. All right. The die says... Me. All right. Like you said, Rich, I like this trailer. I saw this movie, and I think in my brain I gave it like an 8 out of 10. It's been over a decade since I saw it. I do want to see it again.
Wait, over a decade?
This movie came out in like 2008 or 9.
What?
Yeah, 2009. So I love the cadence that this trailer builds by using the thud. It's kind of like I don't want to say a drum. It's almost like a beating heart. that's attached to a brain that is slowly going madder and madder. And you can see this guy's life is coming apart. He's in an accident. His wife wants to split. His neighbor's hot, but, you know, like the whole forbidden fruit thing, blah, blah, blah. And I love the dichotomy, I suppose is the right word, the contrast of when it's finally quiet. And in the quiet, he cries out for help. And it's just met with the most mundane non-response to a cry for help. And he's like, for the love of God, help me. Which is sadly something I've seen too much in real life too. So in that way, the trailer kind of hits harder now than it used to, now that I've lived more of my life. I mean, the "Don't You Want Somebody to Love" is such a Coen choice for an editing song to pick toward the end there. I mean, the trailer makes me not in like I don't know if morbid curiosity is the right word, but you're like, I want to see this guy be okay. Like in a minute and a half, I'm like, I want to see this guy actually come out okay. Like, it's just so much that's going on at once, because he really comes off as like the everyman.
For me, it really showcases kind of like this inner complexity with an everyday Joe kind of man, and it takes you in his experience, at least from the trailer, what it seems like, and all this stuff that's happening to him. And mind you, this is just from a trailer, never seen the movie. What I'm feeling from it is that this man is having all this stuff. It looks like the FBI gets involved, or at least some sort of like police, CIA, whatever. They get involved. His wife wants to leave him. There's a neighbor that wants to probably do him. There's coworkers that are a little concerned with him, but also doesn't really seem like they really care about him. Then you also have his priest that also isn't really attached to him in any way, or nor does he have any really tie to him, or feels like he needs to have a tie to him. And it just looks like a movie where all this stuff that's happening to him is stuff that he actually doesn't deserve happen to him. Like, and it just feels like it's one of those typical Coen brother dark comedy films where you don't know if you should laugh, but you're also like, well, honestly, that is kind of effed up, but really funny. That's just the vibe that I get it in, very much so in a Coen fashion. They're like, look at our 10 amazing films that we did, by the way. And if that says it already, like that's what they want to showcase at the end of their trailer, I already know what kind of movie I'm going in for then. Like, it has that Fargo kind of comedy feel where there's going to be some scenes that maybe might be disturbing. I don't want to say maybe too far in that category. It seems a bit more chill than a Fargo. I could be wrong, though. I just like that concept where you take an everyday man and then he's essentially a modern-day Job. His life is just going through and you have to just stick through the ride and see where this goes. Like, where is he gonna go? Is he gonna start going crazy like how he thinks everything else is going crazy? And by the end of it, you're like, dang, I want to know what happens. Is he gonna break? So I think in a sense of that trailer, it does a really exquisite job of making me interested to see what this guy does.
While Joseph gets that pulled up, this movie got a 7.0 with 148,000 ratings, got an 88 on Metacritic, and in the credits, it says no Jews were harmed in the making of this motion picture. Oh, jeez.
Who are you?
I'm no one.
I was raised to do one thing. But I've got nothing to fight for.
Nothing will stand in our way. I
finish what you started.
There are stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it. The dark side.
I literally might cry.
Jedi.
This is my favorite trailer of all time.
They're real.
The Force. It's calling to you. Just let it in.
Alright, rolling the die. The die says... the die keeps falling. The die says... Rich. When I saw this, I almost cried. Like, I remember seeing this and thinking to myself, this literally cannot be real. It can't be real. I saw this. This is probably the only movie that this happened twice. It happened once when I saw Get Out. But besides that, this is like the only movie I went to, I think, like after work or something like that. Like, I was able to get like several people to come with me. I think I brought my wife, I think even my sister-in-law. This is like before we were married, I think. Yeah, it was before we were married. And yeah, and I sat there and watched it like in the theater. Anyway, to this trailer, yeah, just they really infuse emotionality into this trailer, from beginning to end. Sure, like, you see the fights and you know what I mean, like the dog fights, and you see the lightsaber, but you feel this sense of magic. You feel a sense of wonder. You feel a sense of awe. You don't quite know what all is going to happen, right? You have, I don't know, it feels mythical. It feels magical. It feels expansive, while also feeling like it has real weight and gravity to it. It has actual emotionality. There are beautiful touches that they did with the music, not going overboard, and really using silence, especially at the end. They could have did a crazy thing at the end, but like letting it just kind of be silent at the end when Star Wars came up was just nuts. We saw all this stuff happening and quiet. It's just, yeah, stellar.
What can I say? This is a fantastic trailer. I remember this trailer came out like beginning of 2015, because this movie came out in the Christmas of the year of 2015, and it was happening during like one of those ESPN, because Disney owns ESPN. It was like, watch the trailer during these like football or basketball game, and I literally was waiting. I was like, I don't give a crap about this game. I want to watch this trailer. And I remember sitting there with my parents, and I was crying. There was this one moment that hit my nerve, and it was in a good way. It was this moment where the music hits just right, with the Millennium Falcon flying, and then you see Han Solo say one of the most powerful lines, honestly, in the sequel trilogy. I'll say that. Not all of Star Wars, but the sequel trilogy. It's true. All of it. A character like Han Solo saying that. The Force, the Jedi. It's all real.
Yep.
It brings a tear to my eye because I think at least J.J. Abrams did a great job with that film, besides where it led off into. But as a trailer, I agree with you. It's that sense of awe and wonder. Why I go to the theaters. Why it reminded me of why I love Star Wars. You know, it's more than just about the Skywalkers. It's about this great big world that does have cool things like laser swords and people being able to push other people with this weird sense of, oh, here's my hands, but you can't see this thing that I'm doing. Like, it doesn't make sense, but sometimes cinema doesn't need to make sense. And I feel like Star Wars is that great world-building IP that can just take you out of your modern-day issues and remind you of when you were a kid and remind you when you were playing with toys and you had your imaginary friend or whatever you had in your childhood. It just takes you back into that zone, and that's what this trailer does. It takes you back into that awe, into that almost reverence-like feeling when you get that moment with Finn with the lightsaber and Kylo coming in with the swoosh. Iconic. Trailer is iconic because it did something that fans didn't think. Like, they didn't think it was possible. There was going to be another Star Wars film. They thought 2005 was the end. Revenge of the Sith. It's over. Nah, 10 years later, we get a trailer, and it blew our minds away. And I will never forget that experience. I watched it religiously. I'm not even lying. Religiously. I'm probably 20 million of those views. I'd be calling Ben Hamilton all the time, be like, dude, I just cried again today. Just watching this trailer. So I loved it. It's... The trailer also, last thing, the trailer also matches the quality of the film. I really do believe The Force Awakens is a great movie just by itself. Like, I think it's a great, fun movie. And I will die on that hill. It's a great trailer. And it is my favorite trailer of all time. It is.
Yeah, despite all feelings about this trilogy aside, like, even when she says, like, I'm nobody, we know what the last line of the trilogy is.
We
and we're
know.
like, okay, well.
Yep.
But all that aside, I think it says something that once this trailer got going, all three of us, like, shut the hell up. None of us said anything. The only person who said anything was Joseph being like, I love this trailer so much. Like, that's it. Like, we were all hella quiet. This trailer just kind of washed over all three of us all over again. I'm not even like a huge Star Wars person. I like it. I like Star Wars, but I'm not like I didn't collect the trading cards. I didn't watch the movies like crazy. Honestly, one of the movies actually kind of freaked me out as a kid. I thought the Rancor was kind of freaky. But it feels like it is treating the franchise with like respect. It doesn't feel like a cash grab. The editing is really lens flares because of who's directing.
Yes.
You can't leave them out. From Spider-Man Lotus to Star Trek 2009, the lens flares will follow us forever. I like that line too, that it's real, all of it, because Han Solo always came off as like it tells us that this character has changed, and if he has changed, who is the most stubborn to change out of the main three, how much more have the others around him changed as well? I mean, the trailer, of course, I was like, why is the Empire still around? Aren't they gone? Aren't they? Like, part of me couldn't help but have that bubble to the surface a little bit and make it feel like a bit of a cash grab. But between the score and seeing some of these characters again after so long, it really feels like the optimism and vibrance of this world still had more to tell us about, and I really appreciated that, again, despite where it went in the end. I have 5 seconds and not much else to say. Metascore says 80, IMDb says 7.8. It was nominated for... It is pretty high, because usually what happens is like... Well, I don't want to say usually what happens, because I guess I can't say I know that for certain. But, like, you know, a lot of people were disappointed with 8 and 9, but it looks like it didn't reflect in the ratings for 7 or how people felt about it. Daniel Craig was in this movie, apparently.
Yep. He played one of the stormtroopers.
Oh,
Ray does a
right.
Jedi mind trick on him.
Yep.
That's
I
really
love that
funny.
scene.
I
think Joseph Gordon-Levitt played one, too.
Did he? Oh, man.
Yeah,
Rich,
I think maybe like a 9.
It's you, Rich. Also, my good friend Patrick, as Rich gets his other trailer pulled up, had a hard time with this movie because when Kylo Ren's helmet came off, he expected something more menacing, but when the helmet came off, he just goes, "Is that Andy Samberg?" The other one you were torn between?
That and there was another trailer. Oh man.
Oh,
this is
okay.
Oof.
Today is a day for truth. The world needs to know what happened and to know what he stands for. That kind of power is very dangerous. Let the record show that this committee holds him responsible.
That's how it starts. The fever. The rage that turns good men cruel.
This Bat vigilante is like a one-man reign of terror.
You don't get to decide what the right thing is. Nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the Batman.
This means something. It's all some people have. It's all that gives them hope.
People hate what they don't understand. Be their hero, Clark. Be their angel. Be their monument. Be anything they need you to be. Or be none of it. You don't owe this world a thing. You never did.
Do you know the oldest lie in America, Senator? The devils don't come from hell beneath us. They come from the sky.
20 years in Gotham. How many good guys are left? How many stayed that way? He has the power to wipe out the entire human race. And we have to destroy him.
You're gonna go to war. He is not our enemy.
Black and blue. God versus man. Day versus night. The red capes are coming. The red capes are coming.
Ugh. Hans Zimmer.
All right, rolling the die, rolling the die. The die says Rich. That works.
Nice.
So, to stick to the trailer, I think that it sets a tone really, really well of just how even if we want to mention the Watchmen thing, right? It's like this world is effed, right? Like that just it is what it is. Even the good guys are like doing bad guy stuff, or they're like on that line, and if they're not on that line, people view them as they're on that line, and also on top of that, they're looking at other good guys as if they're on that line, right? So it's just like no matter what, you seem like everyone is in a lose-lose, right? Like everyone's like right, everyone's wrong, and you just have these powers that seem to be in the words of the Joker, right? Like in unstoppable force meeting an immovable object, that's like what seems like is happening, right? Like there's a collision, and there were a lot of like, obviously the cinematography of it is great. Like I felt like I was able to get a good sense of like the world, a good sense of the scale. I think the music was really, really well placed as well. That build and build and build. And also, what I will say is from someone, like when I saw this, I was like, yo, I want to see this. Not even necessarily to be honest, I didn't care about a fight between Batman and Superman. I'm going to be honest. I did not care. What I cared about was seeing this Batman. I was like, who in the hell is this? When I saw Ben, and I saw him bulked up, and I saw him like training with the tire, I was like, what in the hell Batman is this? This to me was a Batman that I wanted to see. And like honestly, like this began my real like crush on Ben. I was like, yo, this is a handsome hunk. Just damn. This is a beautiful man. Amen. And like the more I saw him, I was like, this man is beautiful. And then when I saw him bulk the hell up as Batman, he's like slamming that tire and he's like beating the hell out of people. He's throwing them, slamming them into the ground and all this other kind of stuff. I was like, yo, this dude is a hero. Oh my God. Well, I mean, not really. He's like committing all kinds of like crimes. But at the same time, I thought it was great. I think it set up the world great. I think it set up the vicious nature of the times and the brutality of even the best of us. I think it laid that out really, really well. So I enjoyed this trailer,
Okay. This trailer for me was actually somewhat reassuring when I saw it. It wasn't reassurance that DC was in good hands. It was not reassurance that I was even going to like the movie. One of the biggest complaints of Man of Steel is that the city gets torn apart and it feels like no one cared. And so for the trailer to start with that and be like, hey, here's some of the people who were down there, and one of them was Batman. I think was a great way for this trailer to tell us that, like, hey, those things that seemed casual, they do matter, and here's how that mattered. Because Bruce seeing that destruction down among all the commoners, the humans, like being firsthand to bear witness to the lives lost from that fight and the destruction that came from it. It was like reassuring to me, and I was like, okay, like this movie's got some potential to put things on a level where you feel like this human is going to challenge this god among men. Also, it reassured me with like the cast. At first, I was like, I love Jeremy Irons, but as Alfred, in some ways, he almost seems too young for Alfred. But I came around to it. I like him as Alfred, and the monologue he has about good people turning cruel is great. Actually, really, I like that little monologue that he has, because I genuinely think there's a lot of truth to it. And I mean, all that aside, having this adapted from, I mean, I won't really say that comic was adapted, but just having the fight from the comics adapted has just been such a highly anticipated thing in the first place. All right, my time's up. Joseph.
Yeah, this was one of those trailers it's literally still up there on my link. I was debating between that for sure and Force Awakens. Obviously Force Awakens won, but I'm glad someone played it, because my God, I could talk about this trailer for hours. The best shot to me in the entire trailer that really sets the tone of what this movie's going for, kind of like into what you were talking about, Tim, was the destruction of Gotham, and how it really affects everybody. It's like lives were lost. And I think Man of Steel is one of the most underrated comic book movies of all time. And so with BVS, I think they go in very well tandem. Like, it's a very natural sequel to the events that happened in the previous film, and this trailer sells it really well, saying this matters. And you're about to see a Batman that runs into the fire, that runs into the smoke, that runs into destruction to save lives. And that's why, to me, it's one of the best openings in the film. Quick side note, because it's intense and gripping. But this trailer pulls it off well. You have this world that's in chaos because of the actions of a hero. And people are wondering, is he even a hero? What happens when that man has a bad day? That's scary. And that's what this film at least looks like, just off the trailer, that it's going to tackle. To other people's opinion, maybe it tackled it well, maybe it didn't. But either way, this trailer does accomplish that intrigue of it's not just another action Avengers film. It has something more to say potentially, on a character level, on a narrative level. And to me, even take away the action sequences that look dope, and they're very well edited to misdirect the audience in a way where it looks like specific scenes are placed in a way where it looks like Batman and Superman are fighting. Obviously, if you've seen the movie, that doesn't happen in the certain layout sequence that they're trying to show us with Wonder Woman, which is really well done, really cool. It gives you all these moments that makes you question things, that makes you go, wait, how is this all going to lead up to this fight? Which is obviously like the tagline, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Justice League. Didn't need that part. Just need Batman v Superman. And you get the hype. You get the hype in an action sense, in a character sense, in a world building sense that bleeds in from the first film, Man of Steel, to BVS. And it's just epic. It's 3.5 minutes, and it doesn't even feel like it's 3.5 minutes. You just want to consume more of what Zach's going to give the audience. So I think it's a very, very well-made trailer.
BVS, 741,000 reviews on IMDb, 6.5 out of 10, and got a Metacritic score of 44, with the highest coming from USA Today's Brian Truitt with a 75.
I'd be curious what that score would be if it was the Ultimate Edition, because that's obviously the theatrical.
Yeah, like I said before, I think when a lot of people are like, I want to do movies, I want to do this, I want to do that, it's like, I feel like it's trailers that do a decent amount of lifting into making people want to do that, because they love that anticipation. And I don't know if I'm wording that right. I don't know if I'm saying what I want to say correctly, but like, when people watch, if it's a trailer that makes people want to do movies, they should probably be an editor, you know?
I love trailers. I think it's a form of art. It's a way, like the idea of a trailer, that a piece of media that lasts from 45 seconds to 3 minutes long is supposed to grab somebody's attention and say, hey, buy my ticket, or hey, rent me on Vudu, or buy me on iTunes, whatever the case may be for that viewer at some point when they go to see that trailer, or on Amazon Prime, whatever the case. I just love that just feeling that you get when watching something that either gets you hyped, that gets you immersed into a world that you want to fall into, like the Avatar trailers, how they are so well executed in bringing you to Pandora, and how you want to go to the biggest freaking theater to watch that ish in IMAX 3D, or be transported into a love story, like The Fault in Our Stars, and how captivating the characters are, in movies that lifts you up, like Eddie the Eagle with Taron Egerton and Hugh Jackman. Movies are a phenomenal way to just bring people out of whatever they're dealing with. And I think trailers do that in the same sense, where you're literally just watching an entire world essentially for 2 minutes, and the idea of how it can just make somebody attracted to that and then want to seek out more information about that project. I think that's incredible. So to me, I love trailers. I've been, I don't want to say addicted, but I could look up trailers for hours on YouTube and just add them to my list of, I'm watching that in December. What day does that come out? Okay, cool. I'm going to start looking for early screenings for that. Like Saltburn, for example. Fantastic trailer.
Yeah,
Grateful that you pulled it up.
Now.
And it's a film that's sadly probably not going to make a lot of money, but it still looks great. Like, I love that trailers can just do that. It can literally be what the F is this? I've never heard of it. Like, and that happens a lot, actually, a lot more than people might think, where sometimes the marketing it's not pushing it enough. But man, yeah, I could talk for hours on that subject, but trailers are a way to display somebody's passion for film. So I love it.
Anything you want to say, Rich?
Trailers are cool.
Period.
I love that.
Yeah.
Period.
I like what you said, Jack, about them kind of being like an art piece, like a way to show you 2 minutes of this world, to offer an invitation to be like, do you want to see the rest of what we have to say about this world we built? I think that's a pretty good way of looking at it, because there are some times where I'm like, oh, I don't want to be in that world, you know? I don't
want to be in Requiem for a Dream. I don't
want
to go
right?
back to that
I don't think I want to be in that world. That's the real world. I don't want to be in Requiem for a Dream. That's just Earth. That's just Earth 1. It's the one we ended up in.
Yeah.
No, I like that analogy. I like that way of looking at it. And I would be down for doing this again at some point, of us being like, let's each find 3 more.
I love this. You know what I hated? That damn documentary you made me freaking watch.
That was great.